Yo guys, what is up and welcome back to the channel. Today we've got another review for you. I have completed the Future Stars Academy Reinier card. We're going to be going through the card, its details, stats, clips, summary, all that good stuff, as well as what you guys have to do to get your hands on him and what my opinion is of the best way to get through this card to make sure you get him in the easiest way possible and the quickest way possible. So without further ado, let's get into the review. So guys, this is the team that I use the Reinier card in. I use him in a 4-2-3-1 just to try and test him out. And then I also tried him out on the wing as well, although I didn't find him as good there. Overall, first impressions of this card, guys, after having reviewed all the objectives. Guys, I would say this card is pretty decent. I mean, 6'1", high medium work rates, right footed, 4 successful moves, and 4-star weak foot, 6 games played, and 10 goals. So that's pretty good for me, I think, especially considering it's still Division 2. It's not too bad in terms of his return. I think overall, guys, I don't know whether this card is worth it from the 85. I think the 85 is also a pretty decent card, and we'll look more into that as the review goes on. But let's just get through this card. First of all, I put a marksman chemistry style on him, guys. So right now, his pace is pretty good. His shooting, passing, and dribbling are all really good, but they just need that little bit extra. Now, I gave his shooting and dribbling the boost as well as his physicality. Actually, his passing, guys, to be fair, it doesn't need that much of it. It was 86 passing, is pretty good, and you'll see that in the stats actually as well. So the marksman was the best fit for me. In terms of key pros of this card, 93 acceleration, 92 shot power, 93 agility, and 85 strength. Those stats are really important for me, guys, and they allow him just to play overall as a big striker and use that size as well as that speed to be able to take on defenders and create goal scoring opportunities. The other thing that's fantastic about this card, guys, is his 90 short pass. The reason his passing might need a bit of an upgrade is his long pass. If you do intend to play longer balls with him, it's only 80. However, 90 short pass is really nice for linking up the play, and he's fantastic at doing that as well. In terms of the cons, guys, his jumping is a big one. Often on corners, I would put the ball in and he would just not get the header there, even though he's very big, strong guy as well. He just doesn't get on the end of the header. So I think for that reason, I put a marksman on him as well to help him boost in that regard, win a few more headers off corners and things like that. Other than that, guys, I don't really see any cons of this card. I mean, his balance is pretty decent, his agility is pretty good, his composure is decent, his finishing is decent. You can boost that up as well. So overall, guys, I think that jumping is really the only con of this card for me. In terms of the traits, he does have the flair trait and the technical dribbler. However, no finesse shot, long shot, chip shot, or outside of the foot shot trait for him, which would have been nice to have as well. But this card does have a lot going for it, irrespective of the traits. Before we get into the clips, guys, we're going to compare the 87, the 85, the 82, and the 78 cards to show you guys how far you should go and whether it's worth grinding to get to this 87 card. So let's go to that. So guys, we're going to get into some of the objectives, or all of the objectives, to see what you have to do to get your hands on the 87 card and whether it is worth the graft for the 85 card. We'll also discuss this later in the review in the summary and just a comparison between the two players. But let's just get into this part of it first. So to get your hands on the 78 Reinier, but guys, please correct me if I'm pronouncing that wrong. You need to score 4 goals using forwards. Now, guys, the easiest way to do this, you guys may be thinking go into a rivals game or go into a friendly. Go into squad battles and get this one done. Very easy to do as well, and that I would hold the same sentiment for this one. If you guys like your squad battles, or you like just having an easy time of it, not having to stress too much about getting these done, then getting the 78 Reinier using squad battles was the easiest way to do it. I think I had to go into 3 separate friendlies to get the 4 goals because people kept leaving, and then they didn't leave after that, unfortunately, because of the requirements after that. Score 3 goals using the 78 rated card. Again, you can do that in squad battles, no problem. Assist 2 goals. Now, guys, the other reason I would recommend doing this in squad battles is, one, you can do it on any level you want. The second reason is that the 78 card is not the best of finishers. He does struggle to get the ball past those good goalkeepers. So I would say using him in squad battles will be easier to get it past the bronze goalkeeper and get those 3 goals and 2 assists. And even this one here, score in 4 separate matches to earn the 82 card. I think if you do that in squad battles, yes, it will take you a lot longer than if someone quits out of a game. But the way that this card is being played, not a lot of people are quitting games at the moment. You're having to play full games anyway. You're not guaranteed to score with that 78 rated card. I would use squad battles to get get this 82 card, and then you can progress from there and play in the managerial masterpiece, which is where you have to play the next set of games in to get the 85 and the 87 card. Then once you've got the 82 card, you have to assist 3 goals with through balls using Reinier. You have to assist 4 goals using the 82 card. You have to score in 6 separate matches in the managerial masterpiece. Now, guys, a lot of the time, people will stay the entire game just to score that 1 goal and then not play again. I ended up coming up against it a load of times. So make a deal with someone to get these 2 done. You will struggle a little bit with the passing ones. They're a little more difficult than the shooting ones. Someone will be willing to do the through ball goals with you. So just send people a message. They'll be willing to help you out as well. I managed to do it, and I did it for a bunch of people as well, guys. If you do only need a goal in these games, ask them for the goal and then give them the through balls. It's the easiest way to get this done and make sure everybody gets what they want from the game. In terms of getting to the 85 card, of course, this 6 separate matches will then be relatively easy. And guys, all you have played is the 10 games that you should have played to get to the 82, the 4, and then the 6 to get to the 85. Which will then be 10 games in total. You'll have your 85 rated card, and I think that's a really good point to stop at. The 85 card is plenty good, but you'll see that in the next part of the video, so please do stay tuned for that. In terms of then getting onto the 87 rated card, this is where it starts to get a little bit laborious and a little more difficult. Scoring 6 separate wins using the 85 card, score 6 finesse goals. So now that doesn't have to be in 6 separate games, that can be in 1 game. If you score 6 finesse goals, you're done and dusted there. Score a brace in 3 separate matches, score in 16 separate matches, play 25 games. Now guys, one thing to bear in mind, I'm just going to go to this last point. 25 games with Reinier in your squad is with any version of him. I don't know if it's with the gold card version or whatever card he has, bronze, silver, whatever it is, but certainly with these special cards, the 78, the 82, the 85, and the 87, they all count. Well, you wouldn't do it if you had the 87, but they all count towards 25 games to get this objective done. So just keep using whatever card you want. As long as you have him in your team, that will get this done easy enough. This one here is a bit of a drag, but again, like most weekly objectives, it's just one where you've just got to keep banging them out. Unfortunately, guys, because of the way the objectives are, not a lot of people are leaving these games once they score a goal with him, as is understandable as well. If you score, actually I remember a game where I scored 5 goals and someone scored 1 and they stayed. That's their right to do so, but guys, please do bear in mind that will take you longer now that each game is going to be 15 minutes instead of a couple of minutes because people are leaving. In terms of the brace, again, easy enough to do with the 85 rated card. I think the 85 rated card is a very good striker, so this one easy enough to do. And the 6 goals in separate wins, I think that's maybe the toughest one because people are playing so competitively on this card. It's very difficult to get those wins. So guys, that might be the drag for you in the 16 games and the 6 wins. I really don't think the 25 games is going to be that much of a drag. You get 10 games just from doing to the 85 rated card, and after that you're just banging out the rest of the games to try and get the rest of the things, and you'll complete this one as you get along, so not too much to worry there. I think the wins and the 16 separate matches will be the biggest drag, and that's my opinion in that. We're going to get into a comparison between the 85 and the 87 rated card and whether I think it's whether you grafting it out, so let's go straight to it. So guys, I figured the easiest way to show you what the difference is between these 2 cards is to show you guys the comparison on Futbin. So guys, what we're going to get into here is just the stat differences and whether I notice that difference on the player. And if I do feel like this player is worth the upgrade at the end, I will also say that to you. And then we'll go through his clips and his summary after that. Guys, getting into the stats here, the pace upgrade. So first of all, guys, before we do all of that, total stats 493 against 479, so that is pretty significant. 2358 in-game stats to 2280, so a really significant boost there as well. A total of 78 in-game stat boost there too. In terms of the pace, he does go up from 89 to 91. Now, guys, I'll be honest, I didn't really feel this pace upgrade because he's quite big. Although he is very agile as well, he does feel slightly slower, and I think that's just a tendency with the bigger strikers to feel like that. However, as far as big strikers go, he felt reasonably fast on the 85, so I felt like this wasn't much of an upgrade. Even though he may have had a step or two that was slightly quicker, I don't feel like it was significant enough for me to notice. In terms of his finishing, guys, so here you have 84 shooting to 87 shooting. Overall, the finishing stats, the biggest jump here that I would say that makes the most difference is the shot power. I definitely did notice that shot power increase. I do feel like he got a lot better at that. Otherwise, I didn't really feel it. Again, this guy, even his 82 card is a phenomenal finisher. For some reason, it's really boosted in game, and this 84 finishing doesn't feel as high as what the card suggests. Like the 85 feels like a better finisher than that. So I feel like in the shooting department, other than the shot power, I really didn't notice the difference in these stats either. Getting into the next stat, which is the passing. Now, there's very little difference here as well, guys. 86 to 85 passing, really no movement there at all in terms of how I feel how the card played. He played brilliantly passing-wise at the 85 version as well. Next, guys, we're going to get into the dribbling stat. This is where I felt the biggest difference. And although his agility is 90, balance 80, reactions 80, ball control 86, dribbling 89, and composure 86. Composure is fine, that relates more to finishing for me. But in terms of the other dribbling stats, I really do feel like I felt a massive difference here. He felt so much quicker on the turn and the move, while his acceleration didn't feel that much different, especially when you're trying to hold up the ball or hold up the play, or just kind of like keep the defenders at bay without them sticking foot in on you and getting the ball. I think his dribbling felt absolutely fantastic compared to the 85. That was a really big upgrade for me, and I really did love that aspect of it. For me, guys, that is the biggest one there. The final one here, you guys won't be able to see the aggression and the strength down at the bottom, but what I will say is that on the physicality as well, there's very little between them. 88 stamina to 85, 85 strength to 82 strength. There wasn't much difference to that either. So guys, what I'm kind of getting to at the point here is that for a little bit of dribbling, which you can boost with the chemistry style. Now, bear in mind, I do boost his dribbling with the chemistry style as well. So that's not to say his dribbling is fantastic without the chemistry style, with the chemistry style, sorry, and then without it, it's not so good. The dribbling is noticeably better on the 87 than the 85. Even without a chemistry style. Now, I like him to be even quicker than that, so I've given him another chemistry style. However, I do think the 85 is very usable with a chemistry style on him. I do think he's fantastic, irrespective of the 87 being there. I think he's a decent striker and a fairly easy striker to get through as well, as you guys have seen from the objectives. So for me, guys, I would say that the 87 is a good card. I do not know or do not think if it's worth the upgrade to go from the 85 to the 87 unless you're really willing to put in the graft to get this card. It's a long graft to do, and I did at times question myself doing it, but for you guys I had to get it done. Now that we've covered all that, we're going to get into some of the clips that I got with the 87 card. So guys, getting into some of Reinier's clips, and what you guys are going to see here is his ability to just play the striker role in the great way that he does, with a combination of size, speed, and passing as well, guys. Now, please excuse some of my finishing. I have been playing with terrible lag since the snow has hit where I am. It's not been great in terms of gameplay, and I feel like not performing my best, but I will try to give you guys as good clips as I can. But guys, getting back into it, he of course is a very good striker, and one thing that I love about this card, and it's the biggest thing that I love about this card, is the ability to play with both power and pace. Now, I say that about a lot of strikers. I said that about the future stars Isak as well. But guys, this striker is a whole different level in terms of strength. I mean, I was holding off defenders I was not expecting to be holding off. His size is great, and his passing is good as well, and it just makes him a really great link-up striker. And that was maybe the most fun part. There you guys can see the aggression coming into play, winning that against Cannavaro and getting through on goal. Again, guys, taking up a great position and unlucky with the finish there. And he did that over and over for me, guys. He puts himself in the right position, sets up chances for my team, or creating chances for my team. And that's what I really loved about this card. Again, making the right run, making the right move, holding his position well, and then you're able to dribble out of these situations as well. You can see there, I'm not sure where to go, managed to get past the defender there and get a chance on goal. Another big thing about this card, guys, which is his dribbling. It's so tight and so usable, especially if you boost that ball control with, say, a marksman finisher, or you boost that agility with an artist. What you'll get is a player who can dribble really well, pass really well, strike the ball really well, and has a reasonable amount of pace. I mean, guys, look at this finish here. So unlucky that he didn't stick that in the back of the net. He finishes with such power and ferocity. That's really what I loved as well about this card. You guys will see in most of the finishes coming up now that a lot of them are just smashes into the back of the net. There's really not much chance for the keeper in reaching any of these shots. even though he may be like at a weird angle or not the best angle there. You can see his 4-star weak foot. The power on these shots was absolutely phenomenal. Over and over again, guys, as well, the great thing about having such a pacey and big and capable dribbler of a striker is you don't mind where he picks up the ball. You can just simply try and run through people, play the ball off with 1-2s, dribble around them. It doesn't matter. And because there's so many ways to take on defenders, I feel like that makes him one of my favorite strikers, is that he's able to do the strength part of it, hold them off, or run around them, or dribble past them, or pass around them. And that's really what makes it so phenomenally good for me, is that this card is able to do it all. Whether it is the 85 or the 87 rated card, I think both are very good at the same aspects of the game, which just makes them incredibly fun to use. I will say the 87 is slightly better at all of it than the 85, but not significantly, and you guys will still be able to enjoy this using the 85 rated card. I mean, look at that finish there, and in this final clip here, you guys are going to see a ridiculously angled finish where he smashes it into the back of the net. So guys, getting into this final summary for Reinier, I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, by the way, guys. Please help me out with the pronunciation there. Of course, the key stats, the 93 acceleration, that 92 shot power, the short passing, fantastic, the strength, fantastic, agility, fantastic. It was a really great card to use, guys, and one that would definitely be an impact sub in my team, if not a starting striker, if I can get my hands on that Reinier card. Guys, overall, I honestly, I can just keep saying it again and again, I really did enjoy using this card. I think the biggest thing about this card is the mix of height and strength and speed. It was just sensational in terms of an overall player. I really did love using that combination. In terms of a chemistry style, I put the marksman on him. Now, you guys can see what that does to his dribbling. It brings the ball control and the dribbling aspect up, but more importantly, what I was wanting to boost with this chemistry style was his finishing and his long shot, because his long shot sits at 82 without the chemistry style there, you guys can see it, and his finishing sits at 87. I wanted that to be a lot higher, and then the perks of that as well being his ball control goes up and his strength goes up as well, which just makes him all the better in terms of that aspect of the game as well. However, guys, there's a number of things you could do with this card. If you're not too concerned about long shots and you would rather he's more technically capable, an artist will do wonders for you as well in terms of him being able to do all the passing game and get him up to that level where he could take free kicks. Guys, that's another thing you can't really do with this card. You can't take free kicks with him unless you really do boost the free kick accuracy on him. The Maestro card will do that for you, but there's a number of things you can do with this card, guys, in terms of chemistry styles and just switching it up a little bit as well. In terms of similar players, guys, I don't feel like Eric Cantona is too dissimilar. I do feel like that's a good shout. However, Cantona is levels above this card. This card, bear in mind, guys, is a free card. He's not going to be amazing. However, he is a very, very good card, especially given the stage of FIFA that we're at. He's a very usable card, and he will fit into a lot of teams, especially with that Dortmund and Brazilian link. So I do like the fact that they've released this card. I do think it's a good card, and it can be used in a lot of squads. Finally, guys, getting into the link ability, and this is the most fun part. In terms of strong links, you've obviously got links to all of these Brazilian icons. However, if we keep going, you guys can see you've got the links to the Player of the Month, Haaland, Reinier, of course, Jadon Sancho, Douglas Costa as well, bringing the Brazilian side, Marco Reus, Julian Brandt, Mats Hummels. The list goes on and on and on. Fantastic link ability with this card, and I really do like the fact that they've released this card with a good nationality and a good team link as well. It just makes it all the more fun for building into your squads and using those kinds of players. Guys, finally, in terms of my recommendation, would I recommend grinding out this card? I think, guys, you should definitely grind out the 85. The 85 is definitely worth the grind. He's a very good card, very usable card, and is a first owner card as well, guys. Please do not forget these are all first owner cards which can be used for icon swaps, which will be coming out soon. So I would definitely get the 85 card. It's not that difficult to do, and you don't have to play that many games to get it, as you guys have seen from the Injectors review earlier. However, guys, if you do enjoy the 85 rated card, please do consider the 87 rated card. He is a very good player, and you will not regret going for him. However, it is a long graft, and if it was my recommendation, I would not be going for the 87 as a casual player. Get the 85, put him on your bench or as an impact or in your team as sort of like your fodder striker until something better comes along, and use him in that way. Hope you guys did enjoy this review. If you did, please do smash that like button, and until next time, I'll see you all in a bit.